What's going on, guys? It's Stu from Trial Talk here. Hope you're all keeping good. Thought I'd shoot a quick video today, just giving you a tour of the job that I'm doing at the moment in Leamington Spa. But also wanted to have a quick off the tools chat about bringing staff into your plastering business. I think there's a pattern forming on Trial Talk at the moment. I don't know whether we're all having a bad month or the economy is playing a part in all this, but I was talking to Marcus Barron, hi Marcus, who is a Trial Talk member, and he was telling me that the lad that he trains up, the lad that he was training up in his plastering business had parted company, and he was telling me about some of the challenges that he's facing as a result of this happening, and trying to meet deadlines on jobs on his own and whatnot. But shortly after that conversation, I was chatting to Rich Welfare, the spray coach, and he said the same thing or a similar thing, where his plasterer that's been helping him on his rendering and his spray projects had been made a job offer, and he'd left, he'd moved on. So he was finding things difficult and looking for some help in his plastering business. But shortly after that conversation, Matt dropped the bombshell on me when I come into work after a period of some time off. Matt dropped the bombshell and told me that he'd been made a job offer and that he was going to go for it. And it come as a bit of it come as a shock, because I don't know how long these lads were working for you guys, Marcus and Rich, but Matt's been with me for give or take a decade. So when Matt first started with me, he was a kid. He was like 18 or something, 18 or 19. And my business was quite young, and I just got a contract doing a load of loft conversions. Matt was about to join the army, and I sort of talked him out of it and said, look, scrap joining the army. Why don't you come and work for me in my plastering business? And, I'll train you and you can become a plasterer. So he bought into that idea and been with me ever since, on and off. So when he said that he was leaving, I wasn't expecting it, firstly. And the company that had made him this offer, it was a big company, and it's an offer that I can't match. And being a sole trader business, I just couldn't get near what they were offering him. And I've told Matt that there's no bad feeling there, and also I can 100% understand for his decision. And if the boot was on the other foot and I was working for somebody and I was made that same offer, I would probably take it as well. So at the end of the day, we've both got young families to feed and to pay for. So your family comes first, and money's the name of the game at the end of the day, especially if you're planning to grow your family. So yeah, there's not a bad feeling there, but I just thought it was a coincidence that I was chatting with the boys and they were telling me, that they'd been left in the shit, basically, and then it happened to me. So that's why I put the van up for sale. That was Matt's van. Some of you have probably seen that post. That van's now sold. I've actually sold that van to, I'll just tighten this up, sorry. I've actually sold that van to a fellow spread from Coventry, Stu Brennan. Hi Stu, if you're watching. So Facebook groups have their perks. Saved me having to advertise it on Auto Trader and whatnot. But yeah, it's gone to a fellow spread, which I'm chuffed about. Sad to see that van go. It was a top little run around. But anyway, yeah, back to the story. So all this was going on with lads leaving, and then it happened to me. But then I've just watched Joel Cook's latest video on YouTube, and he said that Damo, his wingman, that he's been with him on all his videos and whatnot, they've parted company. So it's just got me thinking, nothing's guaranteed in self-employment, and nothing's guaranteed in our plastering businesses. Even if we try and build things so that they're bulletproof, and we try and create employment in a way that no one ever has a reason to leave, they could still leave. They could leave for personal reasons or reasons that are out of your thought processes. They could just decide for whatever reason that they don't want to work for you anymore. And taking it personally, which is what probably we all do. Obviously, when your staff members who you rely on and depend on, and they've been with you a long, long time, and they're used to how you work, and they're familiar with your business and the way you do things every day, when they tell you that they're going, I suppose it's like any relationship that comes to an end or changes. It's change, isn't it? And we don't like change. But it doesn't have to be. The reason I wanted to make this video is because it doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you've failed, you know, your business is failing, your staff are leaving, and it doesn't have to be a loss. You know, it can be a positive. So I wanted to talk about that because ultimately, when you started your plastering business and when I started my plastering business, there was basically fuck all there, and then we've created something from nothing, from thin air. And in most of our cases, we never had any money. So a pat on the back's in order, I think, for all of us, really. And we have to put a flag in the ground, and we have to say, you know what, I fucking built this, and there was nothing there before. I've got a business here now, and that business pays my mortgage. It gives me a lifestyle. It takes my family on holiday, and it creates the life that I want, and it gives me freedom. And we should be proud of that. And even if it's just a little pat on the back, and again, sticking the flag in the ground, just to say, okay, the staff members left, but that doesn't mean that it's the end, and it doesn't mean that it's a loss, because there'll be more staff coming in to your business, and there'll be more stuff that leave, and ultimately it's your business, it's your baby. And I don't know about you, but I couldn't personally work for anybody again. I would make a shit employee. I was a bad employee when I was an employee, because I was always itching to start my own business and to do things my way. And you're probably wired the same way, where you're not cut out for fitting into someone else's plans and someone else's business. And that was the case for me. And we're not employees, and we're not wired like employees. So to try and understand them, and to try and get into their heads of why they do what they do, and why they make them decisions, we're never going to, because what they're looking for in their career, in their work life, isn't what we're looking for as self-employed spreads, you know, or entrepreneurs or small business owners, whatever you want to call it. We're looking for freedom, and I think you can all relate with that. We're looking for freedom. We're looking to earn above average income. So if that's our goal, we ain't going to get that working as an employee. We're not going to get freedom anyway. You might have a long leash, but you're still on a leash, ultimately, because you're working for somebody else. So an employee, they're looking for safety, security, dependability, benefits, job benefits, and holiday pay, and bank holidays off, and things like that. We're never going to get that. To us, that's just like a fucking abstract thing, where, you know, bank holidays is just another day for us to go in and do the graft, go in and hit that deadline, and, you know, get that stage payment. It's a bank holiday or a Saturday to us it's just another opportunity for us to go and finish our job at the end of the day. So you're talking about two different brains and two different ways of thinking. So to try and get into your employee's head, and to try and work out, oh, why have they left? You know, do they not think it's a good business? Or, you know, and getting sore about it, which is what I did that when Matt told me he was leaving. You know, I went home and I was a bit gutted. I told my wife, and I said I'm feeling a bit deflated and a bit gutted, really, because we've got to this level after 10 years where we've been working together every day. We've been working beside each other, and we're like brothers, working in each other's, we're in each other's pockets. And also, as a plasterer, when there's two of you, you're bouncing off each other. And a room like this, you can think, okay, we'll bash this out in a day or a day and a half. Where now, on my own, with the prep involved, I've got to go back to the drawing board and rethink. I have got a labourer that's come on board that I trust, and that's worked for me for on and off for years. He's also a friend, so I have got someone there, an ally that I can bring in. For example, on this job, we've been doing a lot of stripping back. I've got a wall to build here behind me. This doorway here has just been opened up. It was opened up previous, but then it was blocked up again. So we've opened it up again. So there's some layout changes happening, some remodeling works going on this one. Walls knocked down and plaster stripped back to brick. We're insulating the outside walls and whatnot. So I needed someone in, because obviously doing a job like this on your Norman Bates is going to be it's going to take too long, firstly. But yeah, I'll show you upstairs anyway. But yeah, going back to bringing in staff into your plastering business, don't feel gutted if your staff leave. See it as an opportunity to go back to the drawing board in your business, revisit that headspace that you were in when you first decided, when you were young, when you first decided, I'm going to start my own business. Go back to that headspace that you were in then. Sit down with a blank piece of paper and a pen and just go back to where you were then and look at the reasons why you started your own business. Was it so you could go and employ people and be a manager and, you know, try to keep them busy all year round, because that's ultimately all you'll be doing, and it was all I was doing, and I didn't realise that until Matt left. So it was an eye-opener, because although I was gutted and although I thought, oh, you know, I've trained this guy up and, you know, now I have to retrain someone and that takes years, at the same time, my duty and my role and my responsibility for that employee had just vanished, and that responsibility and that stress had also gone with the employee. So rather than me running out there and just bringing in another spread and putting them in my van and saying, okay, off you go, and going through the whole process again and running around marketing like mad and finding the work, I just thought, I'm going to scale down. And in my case, as you know, I like to do the blogs, I like to do the content creation, and I'm a little bit entrepreneurial in that sense, where I don't just want to be thinking the only way I can create value is by spreading on walls and ceilings. I've always tried to think a little bit outside the box, and I like to add value in other ways off the tools. So in my case, video creation, blogs, got the Trowel Talk group and whatnot. So I've got an opportunity now, and so have you, to go back to that headspace, the reasons why you started your business in the first place all them years back. Was it so you could just, you know, employ loads of lads, get a load of vans and run around like a headless chicken trying to keep them busy all year round and make a bit of profit in the process? Or was it so you could be free to choose your own working hours, choose who you want to work for, where you want to work, which location? Because these are the real reasons that we go self-employed, not to go and have like 5 lads working for you so you can just spend your time, you know, sitting up late at night thinking, oh, you know, I've had this job cancellation and, you know, I've got 4 lads to keep busy, what am I going to do? And stressing. You went self-employed so you can cherry pick the jobs, the customers, the earnings and the location you want. Have you got more chance of doing that being on your own with a labourer, maybe in my case part-time labourer, where you can say, okay, I don't need you this week, but I'm going to need you next week, or here's some dates for you, can you do these dates, because I've got a particularly big job on and I need a push. And then spend 3 weeks working on your own on a project where your time's your own, you can finish when you want, you can start when you want. Obviously we've all got to meet our deadlines and get the job done, there's no escaping that, but what I've learned this last week is I kind of missed the flexibility and the freedom that working as a sole trader mercenary gave me, and I sort of forgot how much freedom it did give me, and I've sort of realised that now with Matt leaving. And again, I'm not knocking anyone that wants to go and grow a big business. And I've just done a big podcast, like an hour-long podcast with Craig Wilkinson, business coach, where he talks about scaling up and growing, although not necessarily having loads and loads of lads, more growing in the sense of becoming business smart and having systems in place and targeting the profitable jobs. But all those things you can do working on your own. You don't need a massive team. My team now consists of me, Marty, my labourer, who I still class as a team member, even though he's not in every single day. I've got my sister on board, who helps me with some admin work. And my accountant, who obviously he's there at the end of the email. And all these people, I mean, I've got my suppliers and whatnot, but I wouldn't class them as part of my business team. But these people I've just mentioned, they are part of my team, but ultimately the buck stops with me. Like in any business, no matter if it's just you or if you've got 50 members of staff, the buck's going to stop with you ultimately because it's your business. Anyway, I just wanted to turn a negative into a positive. Ask you guys, what are you going to do now that your member of staff have left? What are you going to do? I've told you what I'm going to do, but what are you going to do? Are you looking to hire more? Are you looking to scale down? Or are you looking to think, I don't want to do plastering anymore? Maybe you want to go and do something totally different. I mean, Trial Talk's there, but not everybody on the group is particularly in love with plastering. It might just be in love with being self-employed or property renovation or learning new skills, which we've got a lot of people on the group that are into just learning new skills, Venetian, spray, cement rendering and things like that. So let us know, what are your plans now that your wingman has moved on? What are you going to do? Let me know in the comments, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been of some help. Have a good week and we'll see you soon. Thanks guys.